Hey, what is up guys, Shady Wags back, and in the last Atom Fishing 2 video, I explained the UI and the very basics of fishing. So in this video, we're going to go back to the shelter base, and I'm going to show you everything you can do from that location, because you're going to be spending a lot of time there. So let's head back to the base, and the first thing you're going to notice is there is no radiation or environmental damage in the shelter. So this is a good place to go if you have to go AFK. If you go AFK while you're fishing, you are going to continue taking damage, and if you're gone for an extended amount of time, you could come back with a lot less health than what you started with, or you possibly could even die. So if you do have to step away, it's probably a good thing to quickly pull up the map and then click on the base so you load into there. In the basics video, I talked about this guy right here. He's going to be your initial quest giver, and as you complete his missions, you're going to go back, turn them into him, and he's going to give you another task to complete. This is like a small tutorial, although it's not a complete tutorial, and many things are not explained, and that's why I'm taking the time to create these guides. Atom Fishing 2 is a Russian-developed game, and up until recently, it was only in Russian. There are some things that are not translated, and some of the things that were translated were kind of lost in translation. Also, you're going to notice that the player base at this time is rather small. You're going to see the same player names every day, and the player base is mostly Russian. But despite the English player base being small, and not all of the game being in English, it's not going to be enough to impair you from playing the game. Now, right next to our Russian friend here is two vending machines. The first one right here is different types of bait, and you purchase those using in-game credits. Now, I wouldn't go crazy and start buying all kinds of different baits thinking you're going to get drastically different results in the beginning, because you won't. Just stick to bloodworms and worms. And at the end of this video, I'm going to give you one huge tip regarding bait, so be sure to stick around for that. Now, next to the bait machine is the equipment vending machine, and from here you can buy better fishing rods, better reels, better line, your first depth finder, and suits, which will protect you from radiation and the elements. But most of these items are going to require higher levels of reputation with the shelter to purchase them. Now, on the other side of the room, in this little room right here, is another vending machine. And remember, I told you not to sell your trophy fish. You want to turn them in for trophy tokens. And that's because from this machine, you can buy bait recipes, but in addition to credits, they're also going to require trophy tokens. And from this machine, you can also purchase water, med kits, and radiation pills. Now, back across to the other side of the room, we have the quest board. And from this board, you can pick up 4 different types of quests. You can have 4 quests, one of each type, active at the same time. The first is for income, and by completing these quests, you'll be rewarded with in-game credits. Now, for most of these quests, there's going to be 3 types of objectives. The first type is to catch a specific type of fish, a set amount of that type of fish, and over a certain weight. So in this instance right here, we would need to catch 10 roach all over 662 grams each. Once you find a quest that you want, you're just going to go ahead and click on it and then click the accept button. The quest will then show up in your objectives list, and underneath it is the time you had to complete the quest. If you don't complete it in that set amount of time, the quest will then drop out from your list. Now, if you decide you don't want that quest anymore, let's say it's too difficult or that you took it by accident, you can drop the quest. All you have to do is go back to the mission board, go back to that type of quest, and click on the decline button, and it's going to drop out of your list. But you can only take a quest type once every 40 minutes. So since I dropped this income quest, I'll have to wait 40 minutes before I can take another income quest. The next type of quest is for resources, and these are items that you can use for crafting items, or you can sell them on the auction board. Now, this type of objective is a little different. I need to catch crucian, but the size and amount don't matter. I just need to catch 3.23 kilograms of crucian to complete the quest. The third type of quest is experience and reputation, and the rewards for these quests vary greatly. Some are going to give you resources, some experience, others reputation for the area, or even credits. And they could be a mixture of all 4. Now, what I've decided to do is take another quest to catch crucian, because it's a good strategy to take multiple quests involving the same type of fish, because fish you catch are going to count towards multiple quests. And the last type of quest is the daily quest, and you can take one of these every 24 hours. Now back across the room again, we're going to go to the SPAS terminal, and from here you can turn in your record and trophy fish. Record fish that you catch can be turned in for a record token, which is going to give you 4 hours of VIP. Now in all my hours of playing so far, I've only managed to catch one record fish. So this is pretty rare, and I think they could have given a little better reward, maybe a title or some type of cosmetic item. And you can turn in your trophy fish for trophy tokens. We've already established that trophy tokens are extremely useful. They're used to upgrade your gear, they're used to add additional inventory slots, and they're used to purchase different types of recipes. So the trophy tokens, really useful. Next to the terminal is the mailbox. You can send messages to other players, and any items that you put up for auction that don't sell are going to be returned to this box. Now this guy right here, he is the fish vendor. He's going to buy your fish. So you just click on the type of fish you want to sell, click on the sell button, and the money will go directly to your credits. Behind the fish vendor is additional storage. You can drag and drop items that you want to store into the box. I use this mostly for bait because through the course of playing, I was collecting a lot of different types of bait, whether that was through rewards or by scavenging, more than what I had room for in my inventory, so I just stored them here. Right back here, this is the first crafting table, and from here you can cut up fish, craft different types of bait, and craft biomass and mutomass. One of the things that you're going to be crafting a lot of is fish mints because it's required to make biomass. So if we click on fish mints, the number beside the item is going to tell you how many items you can create. So right now I can make 5 fish mints. The ingredients tells us what we need to create fish mints. So we need any fish from 100 grams to 3 kilograms. The recipe amount tells us how many times we can use this recipe. So this one is unlimited. Other recipes may have a limited amount of uses. And we also see how many work points it's going to cost to craft the item. And you can see your work point total from either here at the bottom, or you can click on the info icon up here and the current work points are listed right here. Now back to the craft table, I can click either craft 1 or I can click on craft all. And the crafted items are automatically going to go into your inventory. This guy back here is another quest NPC, and he's going to have additional quests once you complete all the quests for the first guy up front. The craft table right here is the craft equipment. You can craft floating rods, spinning rods, reels, line, and lures. To craft items is actually pretty time consuming because it requires multiple resources that you're going to have to either collect by either catching them when you catch fish, earning them as rewards, or completing missions. Or you can buy them from the auction house. For example, to craft a new float rod, it requires 1 handle, 1 rod part, 1 passage ring, and 1 bamboo rod too. To craft a handle, we click on that and then it's going to show us the ingredients which are required to craft a handle. And those are 1 composite material and 1 biomass. And to craft a composite, we click on that and it requires 1 metal, 1 plastic, and 1 mutomass. So crafting is pretty time consuming, but the advantage to crafted items is that they can be upgraded where vending machine bought items cannot be upgraded. My recommendation for a new person just starting the game is to focus on crafting a float rod, a reel, and a line first, and then after that begin working on a spinning rod. You're honestly not going to need a spinning rod for quite a while, so it's better to initially put your time and resources into the float rod, which is going to allow you to catch bigger fish. Now next to this table is another crafting table. This one is for chemical items. From here you can craft med kits and radiation pills, although I wouldn't recommend it. It's just easier to buy them and put those resources to better use someplace else. You can also craft other chemicals here that are needed to craft equipment. And from here, you're also going to craft biofuel, which is needed to fuel the generator. That's going to give you shelter reputation. And the last thing we have here is the generator. Every time you craft a biofuel, you're just going to drop it off here, and that's going to increase your rep. In the last room here, this is where the doctor is. You won't be able to use this guy initially. I think he unlocks around level 5 maybe, but once he's unlocked, you can give him a fish over 900 grams and he's going to heal you. And it's just not your health. He feels your radiation resistance, your food, and your water. So this guy is extremely useful, and it makes the game much easier once you can use this guy. He also has a fridge here that you can store a fish in, but in order to do that, you have to give him 5 munimass. And I'm going to go over munimass in another video because I'm going to show you a way to make a lot of money and experience early on in the game, and that does involve munimass. The last thing I need to show you, it's not the base, it's over here in this region, Pratoka, that's going to open up to you at level 5. There's a campfire here and a cooking pot, and if you click on the cooking pot, you can craft food items from there. Most of the items you're not going to be able to craft because the ingredients are not going to be even available to you early on. Now, the one thing you can craft is fried fish, and all that requires is filleted fish, which you can craft back at the base on the cutting board, and salt, which you can buy from the vending machine. So Atom Fishing 2, it's just not a fishing simulation. It's a resource management game, and it's an open world sandbox. So you get to make your own decisions on what you want to do and where you want to go. But you should have a goal in mind, and probably your main goal is going to be to leave the shelter area and go to another region. Honestly, you don't want to do that too early, because when you leave, you're not going to have a fishing rod set up that is capable to catch the bigger fish. And in other regions, the radiation and the environmental damage levels are so high, you're not going to have the resources to keep yourself healed up. And they don't have doctors in those other areas. So what should your goals be? Personally, the number one thing I think you should work on is raising your shelter reputation all the way up to hero. That's going to give you access to all the gear from the vending machines. So most of your time should be spent in doing reputation quests with the higher shelter rep gains, and also crafting biofuel to put in the generator. Now, at the same time you're working on that rep, I would work on gathering resources from the resource quests and craft a floating rod, a reel, and a line, and upgrade those to at least level 5. And the last thing, as they do become available to you, purchase new equipment from the vending machine. That equipment does cost credits, but if you keep doing the daily quest, that should give you enough money to keep ahead of the game. Now, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching, and I promised you a huge tip about bait, and here it is. In the last video, I talked about how fish are on certain schedules, and some fish are only out during the day and others at night. If you've been fishing from the bridge during the day using bloodworms and worms, you've probably been pulling in fish after fish with little to no weight, but once it turns night, you're going to find yourself just standing there and watching your float and getting no bites. And if you're not catching any fish, then in actuality, it's costing you, because you're just taking damage, and then you're going to have to turn around and spend resources to get your health and radiation resistance back up. So from the bait vending machine, buy some pearl barley. This is a great bait to catch carp species. So go back to the bridge and start moving to the right, and you're going to move into the slope region. The radiation level and the environmental damage is a little bit higher here, but from this area, you're going to be able to catch bream and crucian using the pearl barley during the night. So that's going to keep you productive, and you're not just going to be standing there taking damage. So I hope you guys find this video useful. If you did, hit that thumbs up button. Thank you so much. Until next time, I will talk to you later. Have a good one.
Yeah. Shady Wags got your back. It's so entertaining. You need to subscribe to Got Your Back gaming gameplay and reviews, even doing walkthroughs. This the best gaming channel. I'm just telling you the truth. PS4, Xbox One, or even PC. Plenty tips, all the tricks. This is just what you need.